lifting our minds in gentle acceptance of the brilliance of this moment. Heavenly Creator, we are humbled by the opportunity to come together once again, to sit in generosity, in compassion and openness of heart and mind, to be inspired by the message that is to come forth. We are honored to be a part of the collective light of love, the universe that pulsates in this love, and we recognize its purpose. We recognize its process, and we are, yes, simply acknowledging that we are an important part of it all and embracing our part. Yes. We thank all those that have come in spirit to join with us in these few moments to share in, yes, in joy, in a sense of connectedness, a sense of love, a sense of embracing all that is. We honor our forebears. We honor the traditional owners, the custodians of this land that we now inhabit, that we now call home. We honor all those that have lived lives, that have persevered, that have shown us a path. Yes, yes, it is a brilliant moment that leads us to this moment. And we honor our, yes, our failings, what we see as failings. We honor all of it. We honor the transgressions, many would say, of all those that have shown us a path to awareness, to awakening, to compassion, recognizing that love lifts us like no other source, like no other inspiration. Love heals. Love needs to come forth, and we embrace this time to, yes, to further that endeavor. Yes, we thank you all. Yes, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you.
All right, so good evening, everyone. Tonight we're going to talk about, I put the chapter wrong, it's chapter 26, not 22, Faithless Worker. And I'm gonna read the texts for you guys first, and then we'll discuss that after this. So, faithless worker, and I will show you my faith by my works. James 2:18. Anyone can find a worker without faith, spreading his relentlessness and discouragement. He devotes himself to determinate charitable work and abandons it soon, murmuring, "For what? The world is no good." He commits himself to community duties and, without any demonstration of persistence, leaves defying obligations, claiming, "I was not born for dishonorable servility." He approaches a religious faith to enjoy its benefits. Still, soon after, he relegates it to oblivion, asserting, "This is all lies and complications." If someone invites him to a leading position, he repeats the old refrain, "I do not deserve it, I am unworthy." If someone takes him to the testimony of humility, he affirms with manifest outrage, "Who offends me so?" Then he moves from situation to situation. Amidst lamentation and indiscipline, he has plenty of time to feel persecuted and unappreciated. Wherever he goes, He is the worker who does not finish the service he had started, or the student who studies continuously without ever learning the lesson. Do not dedicate yourself to faith without work, which constitutes dangerous drunkenness of the soul. Nevertheless, do not consecrate yourself to the action without faith in the divine power and your efforts. The server who trusts in the law of life is confident that the assets of glories of the universe belong to God. Because of this, he lives under the light of joy and action in ceaseless good, completing the small and large tasks up to him. He does not fall in love with himself in vanity, nor does he enslave himself to the creations of which he would be the fortunate instrument. Let us review our faith through our work in shared happiness, and the Lord will give our life the indefinable addition of love and wisdom, of beauty and power. So that's chapter 26 from Emmanuel and Chico. It's not good. Anyway. So, faithless worker. So tonight the chapter is very human and very practical, but a little uncomfortably familiar, because Emmanuel is describing people who meant well, but begin enthusiastically and then lose steam when the work becomes ordinary or difficult. The chapter may feel like a theological study and less like a theological study and more like Emmanuel quietly reading our group chat. Like, tonight I can't do it, or tomorrow I can't, and next week is gonna be a little bit difficult for me. So yeah, he's definitely reading Pesque's group chat. It's all about recognizing ourselves with a bit of humility. It's not about judging anyone. What does my faith actually look like in practice? Not just my ideas, not just in feelings, but in behaviors, reliability, and willingness to serve. So James 2:18 says, it's the chapter Foundations. I will show you my faith by my works. The key point here is that faith is not only a private feeling or a beautiful opinion. The true faith becomes visible. It leaves footprints. It produces something and becomes visible through conduct, perseverance, and service, not only with thoughts. So Emmanuel is not dismissing belief or devotion. Real faith naturally appears in the way we work, the way we serve, the way we respond to difficulty, and how we carry responsibility. So right from the beginning, he gives us a test that is simple and a bit confronting. Sorry. If we say we trust the divine law, if we say we value charity, and if we say we believe in moral progress, where can that be seen in our lives? Where in our lives we are showing those values to ourselves in the beginning, but to others? Where are you? So the faithless worker begins a charitable effort and abandons it early, takes on duties without persistence, and approaches religion for benefit, but quickly dismisses it when commitment is required. It's the person that says, let's do it with passion on Sunday, and then when it comes to Tuesday, on Pesque night, it says, no, I can't do it. I'll disappear, and I'll reappear next time everyone is thinking about something. How many times did I do that? Today, it's time to do the mowing, and then, no, I'm just gonna sleep in, I'll leave that for later. And then later is never. And then when you see, it's either a big boulder that you have to move, or you just can swipe under the rug. So the inconsistency slowly trains the soul. It's not about laziness. It is about the habit of living between complaint, indiscipline, and wounded pride, never staying long enough in one responsibility to let good work mature. Most things that are worth it takes time to go to fruition, especially when you want to do big changes, or not big in the size itself, but on the meaning. Sometimes it takes time. You can see it by our own progress in life, or our own progression from our souls, our mind, our spirit. It takes time to build something valuable, and it takes a lot of effort. So we can't just run away from it. So inconsistency slowly trains the soul to distrust effort. We begin to normalize quitting, and eventually even good opportunities feel heavy. That is very important because inconsistency shapes character. If we repeatedly begin and quit, promise and withdraw, engage and complain, we slowly teach ourselves that discomfort is a sign to escape. When we start to feel discomfort in a task, it's the starting point where you say, "Oh no, that's too much for me. I'm gonna go away." And over time, we may even become suspicious of the good work because we associate with inconvenience or wounded pride or frustration. It's like training a puppy, I would say. You will start to say you want the puppy to do something, and you correct it every time. So if every time that you feel there is a step too high for you to climb, and you give up, you start to make your brain or your soul believe in that. And every time that you are faced with some challenge, you just quit because you couldn't do it, or it's not worth it. So it's not just effort; it's the spiritual instability that creates within ourselves. The faithless worker is disconnected from trust, from perseverance, and from the humility needed to keep going when the glow has worn off, or that shining objective starts to worn off. We become disconnected from God. Anyone has anything?
No, not yet.
Not yet. It's still brewing.
Yeah.
Go, Colleen.
So you hit the nail on the head, didn't you? I do see disconnectedness, or the attitude of quitting as reflectiveness, or reflective of our sense of disconnectedness to our divine connection. So it becomes easy because we don't see ourselves as a significant part of the oneness. So we don't see that our contribution or our efforts as being meaningful or worthwhile or significant. So this may be a part of how we nurture our young people, how we teach from an early age what it means to be human, what it means to be a part of the universe. We kind of lean towards the idea that we are only human and that mistakes are natural, and yes, use these props as crutches, as reasons for not, it isn't performing, but engaging in the world and everything it has to offer. So it comes back to this idea, I do sense that we really don't understand what it is to be a part of the oneness. We just don't nurture that sensitivity, yes, within society, or yes, within our homes as we bring up our children. And therein lies our escape button. And so we continue to repeat and repeat and repeat the same, not mistakes, but we keep repeating the same, what is it? It is habits that deny ourselves and others from realizing, yes, the greater being that we actually are. Yes, yes.
Yeah, it takes time to move away from a vice, I would say, that you always think the same way, and yeah, it takes time and effort for you to be able to see beyond, or to go a little bit further than you went a little normally.
Yes, but in essence, we are going back to the baby steps. When yes, within our churches and within our support groups, within the society as a whole, we do not accept the significant part that each of us play. So now, as adults, we are starting to uncover, we meditate and we recognize through prayer and through good works and through study that we are a part of the one. But this can be nurtured from within our homes from the get-go, so that we seem to be creating a rod for our own back when we don't nurture our young in this frame of reference. Yes. Would you agree with that? Yes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, if we start to, for example, you're saying about our kids, or the kids, if you start to teach the correct way early, it's easier for them to face the world, and teaching the right way. Like I said, that we are sometimes like a puppy. If you give the correct direction and incentive, it's easier to not accept that, but take that and make that an everyday action or everyday thoughts in our lives.
Yes.
So you're saying we just need a treat in our pockets, and everything we are just say, well done, here's a treat.
Exactly that.
Sorry, I just instigate the dog here. I just say the word treat, and the dog just lift the head, saying, "Oi, it's for me."
Go,
sorry.
go, Jax.
Yeah, I agree with Colleen. However, there is always a however. The idea of to fully understand the oneness is not easy. It's complex for many people. It's already complex sometimes for certain people to even conceive the idea of someone or some intelligence or some whatever that is above us, that is not, you cannot touch, you cannot, but it's there as like a maestro, managing our concert. It's hard for someone to conceive that, let alone the oneness concept. So yes, I agree with that. When you realize that, you obviously start seeing the others as part of yourself. But it's a long way. sometimes for most of people to get there. But it's possible.
I think Justin, yeah, I said that's something that Colin said. It's because of our upbringing that we have this difficulty, because we were not taught like that since the beginning. But yeah, if you start early teaching or training yourself to I would say it's not accept that, but to understand that, it gets easier with time.
It is challenging for any society that promotes individuality and competition and the necessity to make your own way. And yes, it feeds into a society based on fear and based on bettering the other or oneself over another. And that is counterproductive to what we are intending. Yes. It is an uphill challenge.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. So good intention is not the finish line. So some people devote themselves to charitable work and then leave almost immediately, saying that the world is hopeless or the effort is pointless. So charity is not only about the emotional high of helping. It also includes showing up, following through, and staying kind when the work becomes repetitive, unseen, or inconvenient. We want charity to feel inspiring every single time. We want the gratitude, the visible results, the warm heart, and preferably no difficulties. But charity often includes repetition, inconvenience, misunderstanding, slow progress, and tasks that are far less glamorous than we imagine. And that's where the lesson bites us. Good intentions is beautiful starting point. It's a very important starting point, but it's not the finish line. The world has always been messy. To serve was never needed because everything was easy. Service is needed precisely because things are unfinished, wounded, and complicated. So faith is deeper than motivation. That's a very strong practical point, because faith cannot depend entirely on mood, with your energy, your praise, or the ideal conditions for you to work, because the mood changes constantly, while the duty that we have towards ourselves, our lives, our souls remains the same. We have read about Chico Xavier's exploits, Gandhi, Jesus, and many others. Their journey was not easy. They had to always fight a lot to gain a little bit of compassion from others, or even to try to present their faith or their teachings to others. And even that, yeah, it was not easy. So it's not going to be easy for us as well.
I'm selling it.
But I said that I'm not selling it. We'll get there. So if our charity only works when we are inspired, rested, appreciated, and feeling mildly heroic, that's not charity. That's just a very demanding hobby. We are all humans. We get tired, we get discouraged, and we get cranky. And sometimes we need a rest. We need support, and we need we can reset. But we can't make the mood or this unwillingness to work the boss of our duty. We have to take control of that. So the soul grows not only through grand missions, but through ordinary, repeated actions done with goodwill. Setting up chairs in the Spirit Center, for example, being punctual, answering kindly, visiting someone lonely, doing a simple task without all the fuss and the fireworks. Those things might look tiny, but they form our moral consistency, and sometimes they are what you need to transform the life of someone else. If you have someone that's being lonely and you go and just visit them 10 minutes, they'll feel amazing because you are there, you are listening to them. So for you, it can be a tiny effort, but at the end of the day, for the other person, it's going to be a huge improvement. So we are being asked to do the ordinary things, no, that's not meaningless, the mundane things with goodwill, discipline, and sincerity. And honestly, that is harder than it sounds. Sometimes you just want to do something grandiose, but grand missions are always exciting. But the quiet reliability, or the reliability of you doing your work day by day, hour by hour, is where our character is built. So sometimes the ego wears two costumes. On one hand, it says, look how important I am. Look how grand things I am doing now. And on the other hand, it says, look how tragically overlooked I am. So the faithful worker is not obsessed with self-image. They are committed to useful service. So you do your work, and it doesn't matter what people think about you. So faith is not merely the belief in God, belief in spirits, reincarnation, divine laws. Faith matures when those truths begin taking shape within our conduct, our habits, and our relationship with others. As we said in the beginning, the good thoughts, or the initial thoughts, are very important. You have that good faith, but yeah, you have to follow through with it. So faith matures when those truths begins shaping our conduct, habits, and our relationship with others. The chapter fits nicely with the idea of our inner reform that we touch base every week here in Task, that our beliefs should gradually become our habits. That's why we should be doing our daily accounting of our actions throughout the day, and trying to make those good actions, or those good ideas, good beliefs, become our habits that we perform day by day or hour by hour. And our habits should become useful service for the common good, so that not only you, but everyone else can profit from. So the ideal is not activism alone and not sentiment alone. It's trust joined with action, a prayer joined with labor, inspiration joined with perseverance, and inner reform joined with practical good. So now some questions for us. We need to ask ourselves, where do we tend to quit early, complain too quickly, or expect spiritual growth without disciplined effort? Where do I begin well but fail to continue? What kind of tasks do I always start, but I will not be able to finish. I don't want to finish. I'll live for another day. Where do we confuse tiredness with a reason to give up? As the examples that I gave, Jesus, Gandhi, Chico Xavier, they were working tirelessly and never gave up. Always try to better themselves and better the people around them. And what small duty am I tempted to treat as beneath me? What is that thing that I'm not gonna do that? Or it's a waste of my time? But in the end, you can, and deep inside, we know that's like a very important task, and something that will improve the lives of everyone around you. Anyone wants to do some comments on this? So these questions are not meant to crush us. They are just meant to wake us up. Self-knowledge is not for shame, it is for progress. Oh, that's small. So, what is the remedy? The remedy is not dramatically become perfect, but consistent. Doing things with sincere effort, and renew our faith and our goodwill day by day. Every time that we follow through on a duty, we are training faith into action. Like we said, it's just a puppy. Every small faithful act is already a spiritual victory. We don't need to become saints overnight. We can start by doing the duty in front of us a little bit better, a little bit more calmly, and a little bit more faithfully. We can continue where we once quit. Take that task that you left behind and let's start this again and keep going. We can serve where we once only spoke, and we can keep going without needing constant applause. So maybe the simple takeaway from tonight is that let's be a little bit less dramatic and a little bit more constant, a little bit more available to do good. That alone would already be a very spectacular way to live.
Hey, I like dramatic.
I know you like dramatic. And that's me for today. That's the message that Emmanuel wanted to pass to us. It's not about us, doesn't want to crush us, but yeah, just instigate us to
Consistent.
to be consistent, yes, and to think about our actions and reevaluate ourselves. That inner reflection, inner reform that we have to think day by day, and yeah, try to become a little bit better every day. Starts to finish things that we started, or even put to fruition things that we just thought about it. So yeah, that's the idea.
I think that connected beautifully with Colleen's and Ivone's prayer, of initial prayer, in a sense when she say like that sense, like I don't remember her word, but she spoke about the fail, like the times we think we fail and they're not fails, it's just like experience in life. And I think it reflects with that as well, that we see like things that we do, it gives us the experience, and like we have the faith to keep doing it, to do it again, to pursue again, to try again. So yeah, I just thought about that now, that connected beautifully.
Luis?
Yeah. Thank you, Alex.
No.
With that, it's the I always find it interesting that like whenever we're given like a project or something, so many of us will give up at the first challenge that we hit and not persevere through that first challenge. And it's almost like the first challenge is there going like, how committed are you to it? Can you keep going and trust that like you will be supported enough to make it work out? That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's a very good thought. And usually that's the first issues that we encounter, or the first troubles that we start, that are the ones that usually kills our faith, because we see that I'm never going to be able to overcome that, and we just give up. And sometimes we go almost through everything, and just the last step we give up and go away. So yeah, well put.
I think it's the other thing that's important to us to think about it. Like you mentioned many times about big examples like Chico and Jesus. And sometimes, we can, I'm just saying that in general, look at that and think about, oh, I'm never going to be, close to what those guys did. And then we can even give up. But I guess we should not look on that. And you said that, but I just thought about it as well, in a sense that not compare ourselves to them, but look at them as examples and things that they did and do the best that we can with the tools that we have, and that it's enough. It's a progress, as you already said, is a journey. Is about the Miley Cyrus songs. It's about the climb. What you do and the experience and the things that you encounter in your journey to get there. So we should not be disencouraged when we look at big figures that are so beautifully out there to inspire us, but that's what they should be for us, like inspiration, but not in a sense of compare that, oh, I'm not as them or as not as good and that kind of thought. But that means
Their perseverance. Who was first, Colleen or Jackson?
ladies first.
Let's go Colleen first. Oh yeah, there's a number. That's what the number is. Okay, cool. Go, Colleen.
Okay, thank you. It is within our culture. I can't speak for other cultures, but we love to verbally to say what is right, what we believe in, and we love to debate it and to shout others down and to focus on what we say. And in that moment when we are debating, we want others to think like us. We want others to believe in what we believe. And we are hell-bent on trying to persuade. And our focus is on that. And it is a hard task to persuade others in this way. And we are creating a rod for our own society because we want to align everybody with the same kind of phrasing and the same kind of, approach to religiosity or spirituality, or whether we believe in reincarnation or whatever it is. And we become we invest so much of our emotional and intellectual state of being that it wears us out. And then we go, well, what's the purpose of it anyway? And we give up, rather than to release the need to be heard. And now I need to follow suit and shut up because I am always so chatty. But yes, to stop talking, because when we talk, we create division often rather than harmony. And focus, rather from talking, focus on doing and being that which we within our hearts, we know what we need to be, but we kind of overcompensate and start talking, and then we say, well, I don't have any time to do good, rather than sitting in this state of recognition that love will shine through us just by who we are, not by what we say. And by disinvesting, is that a word? Yes. De-investing, by not investing, withdrawing our investment in saying, rather than, yes, as an alternative to that, by just being that which is embodying love in its finest form, tuning into what other people need, not needing to ask because we are in tune, because we have quietened our egos and yes, sat in a more gentle and more humble place. Yes, allowing for the works to come through us rather than to big note ourselves before the anticlimax of, yes, trying to do something, but it fizzling out because, yes, our egos are not fed. Yes, yes.
Thank you, Colleen. Jax?
Yeah, take it from Colleen. The words, all the words, one word in your say is for me the key for what I'm going to say. Ego. We need to take us out of the question and look at the others and look at what we're doing to someone else. So we don't need to compare because us are not in the equation. We need certain things that will assist us on doing this, whatever thing we need to do as a work, which then from that text demonstrate faith in the being part of the divine, being divine and believing in love. That's the faith, particularly believing in love. So we don't do for us, you do for others, so we take ourselves out of the equation without or with having discipline, which is an individual thing. Discipline is what makes us start and finish something, is what take all this complaining and all these examples given by the Pedro Manuel of someone who start and doesn't finish, or it's not reliable or something like that, because they are thinking in a certain point in time about them, what I am getting is in return, or why I am doing this. So when someone think why I am doing this, the ego kick it off. Because we don't need to explain why you're doing it. As long as you know that we're going to do something that someone's going to appreciate, or even a collective appreciation, or not appreciation, but a collective good, is going to improve something. It has improvement. You do it. And the discipline tells you, go to the end. And the persistence is part of the discipline. So, yes, ego is the, is the big thing. We actually, I think in a previous presentation, I mentioned that I think it's Kardec said that the egoism is one of the main vices, one of the main problems. It's egoism. Ego is us. So we need to take ourselves out of the question. And this is one of the key things, in my opinion. Humble opinion.
Yeah. Thanks, Jess. Anyone else would like to say anything? All right. I'll do the final prayer then, so that we can have a little bit of connection with our mentors. So let's get comfortable in our chairs. Close our eyes if you feel like. Do a deep breath in and let it go. Let this connection with our mentors, with Jesus, with God be strengthened every minute. That we can take all those lessons from today, all those improvements that we are making to our lives, that we can apply that day by day, that we can do our self-reform or our inner reform every day, little by little, getting better every day, committing to our work, committing to be good, and transforming our thinking habits into our actions. Dear God, I ask you to bless us this night, that we can have a wonderful evening and a wonderful rest of our week, that we can take those lessons and bring our light to shine upon the others, so that everyone can enjoy this wonderful feeling. So be it.
So be it.
So be it.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming. Sorry again about last week, but as the lecture today say, we don't lose our faith. We missed last week, unforeseen circumstances, but here we are. We don't give up. We keep going. I hope to see you all next week. Can't remember who's gonna be next week, but
No, remember either.
yeah, you're gonna check on the WhatsApp groups, okay?
It's Colleen.
It's Colleen. That's a good one.
May I ask, WhatsApp, Karina, do you have WhatsApp? You do?
Yep.
How does Karina join the WhatsApp friends?
Do you have her number?
Yes.
Okay, I think you were admin on the group. You just add her. Let me check here. Best friends. Best friends.
That way, if there's any notices, then you'll get them, Karina.
Yeah. Give me 2 minutes. I don't.
Just go
Colleen.
search.
Oh, shoot. Make a group with me. Okay, you are an admin now, Colleen. You just go to that group and then you just say add a member and you have the power to do it. And just add her to the group.
You have the power now.
But if you got confused, you can send me and I can do it for you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Have a good evening, everyone.
Bye,
Okay,
guys.
Colleen, Angela, have fun, Karina. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
See you all.
See
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thanks, Alex. Bye.
Bye.